sure everything's set on up. Boot on up. That's booting on up. That's booting on up. That's booting on up. Looks like everything's booted on up. Let's see now. Macros. Yep. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go. So let's go to get started. Is Twitch working? Yes. Right now it says of 0 viewers. That's usually incorrect because Alicia usually counts myself. By the way, let's go ahead and actually get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on bottom left side as Cobalt Ice Olaf, we got Aliastor number 7. On top right side as Yellow Max, we got McDonald's. Max, of course, should be a bit more aggressive CEO. Olaf prefers with more long fights with a bit of fury. Max, of course, has quite a bit of capability to be aggressive and push forward with his increased damage for direct units, but has reduced damage for indirects and have 1 less range, making his indirect units incredibly situational. We have an early recon by both players now. Double recon by Max, going for maximum recon. Pair of compounds this map. This map is also a 3-base map, 1 airport. There's also another pair of compounds in the corner, so Max, well, both players will get quite a bit of firepower, particularly Max. Plus 40% firepower for all of his direct units. That is getting to pretty lethal territory. And whatever units get left behind, if they can become pawns, to be walls. So this game is pretty good with pawns with all the infantry units there. We do now have a tank by Olaf and now by Max. Max has gone for triple recon, ready to reconnoiter the area. Recon constructed recon, not exactly great. Not great. Now the recon hits the recon, and then the recon hits the recon, but the recon hits the infantry unit there. And decides to just go straight to the forest. Both of the recons are hidden, not being hyper aggressive with them. We have now another tank here. Infantry and the recon infantry forward does park itself on a bit of a shore, bit of a pond there, if you will. Tank pushes way forward, but this tank's in range of this tank here. You can count me spaces how far these tanks can go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you want to expect a tank anywhere, right here would be a good spot. He may have saw it last turn, unless he went this way. Does finish off the unit there. Spots the tank a little bit late. Use the recons push forward, get some good picks there, trying to flip both of those properties. This tank actually now has a bit of wall in front of it, so never mind. We do have a chain of 3 tanks over here. We got an 8 here into another tank. No battlecopters yet. He right now has 18,000 funds, so he can afford battlecopter this turn, and then some. Did take out the recon there, interrupts the capture. He knows there's a tank inside this forest. He can easily spot off the infantry unit. Max captured up both his comm towers, so has Olaf. Got some good damage there. Spots the tank there. Decides to take the tank on with his own tank. His reinforced tank is a little bit far behind. This tank's in retaliation range. Tank infantry. Does take out that tank there. Take some outlying infantry units down over here. We've got a tank over this region. Tanks are now being deployed this direction as well. Max does see 2 tanks nearby, knows about this wooden tank as well. So it's probably not going to charge for that singular tank. It's outnumbered. Anti-air recon tank. 18,000 versus 16,000 income. And Max is capturing this bottom right city there and this city here. So Max not only has 4 properties right now, we'll have 2 more next turn as well. Anti-air infantry tank. He does have a battle copter in the field. He does have anti-air on the right side as well on the other right side. Capture most of those properties there. Tank infantry. I think Max has no repairs next turn. He can pull out 3 tanks. And that is a good number of tanks over here. They have 2 full health tanks, 1 8 health tank, and 1 straggler tank. So Max effectively have 3 healthy tanks this region, while Max only has this 1. He may need to go for something a bit heavier next turn. He does have 22,000 this turn. Probably not going to be going for a Neo tank. Medium tank honestly may be a little bit too slow and overkill. But medium tank would really greatly equalize this region. Right now it's 20,000 income versus 17. So he has a very good amount of income at the moment. Tank infantry. Did save 7,000 of his funds, so he could be going for a Neo tank next turn, maybe for a bomber. Battle coppers wouldn't be half bad to mix on in, though he has not deployed any. Trying to flip some properties at 20,000 versus 20,000, so the income has equalized. So we've got 2 more properties being captured by Max over here. Tank. And infantry. He's saving 12,000 funds. I wonder. Stealth bombers or stealth fighters, or just stealths I should say, are not banned on this map, so maybe eyeing for a stealth? Not sure. He does support all direct units, whether the air or ground or submarine. Does get some hits over here. Olaf feels like he's in pretty good position right now. 105 versus 106,000, so they're pretty even the moment, though Max does have unusually high bank. Tank recon. It's the entry unit there. Anti-air takes the battlecopter. Has access for a full max blast. Goes for a full max blast, which does increase his direct firepower quite a bit, not to mention get +2 range. His tank's going to be blitzing on forward. It'll one-shot infantry in a forest. It's the tank there. Tank will hit regular tank. Nearly one-shot if it was in open ground. I wonder, how close was that to a... Can't click on buttons right now. Wait, is 0 button on mine also a... Oh crap, that's also a local recording button. Oh well, this is the one that's not being uploaded to YouTube. Yep, no chance of war one-shot, unless it's already damaged. I forgot I had my numpad 0 as a hotkey for starting and ending streams. Or not streams, local recordings. Do now the full Winter Fury activated now. He, Max did, hold back spending last turn, so he's at 25,000 monies in the bank, which is quite significant. Makes good progress down south in the bottom right. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Does pick off that unit there, hits the infantry unit, picks it off, interrupts the capture. Tanks push the way forward against a good amount of damage. 3 defense stars save that penguin from being gunned down by anti-air. Battlecopter, tank. And so 12,000 funds in the bank. Just going for a large number of fast units. Does take out the anti-air, or almost does. Does finish off the anti-air there. Tank, and infantry. Oh, it's not morning for me. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Also, are you sure that's not napalm? Infantry, medium tank, and battlecopter. Tank, infantry, recon, and battlecopter. Recon, infantry, battlecopter, infantry. Overall, Max has pulled back in this region. And looks like Olaf's pulling back. Overall, both sides are pulling back a little bit, so there's quite a bit of no man's land in the center. Or no penguin land, I should say. Does interrupt the captures there. Both players are 20,000 incomes. 2 properties here are despicably neutral. Key aspect was different in the capture pressure is these are neutral, while Max has both these corner ones, while Olaf has both of these that are despicably neutral. Tanks are starting to hit the tanks here. Good number of tanks in the tanks. You have a Max force now deployed in the field, or available. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Gets that tank a couple times. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter hits tank. Tank hits tank. Hits the infantry unit here twice. Hits that infantry unit twice. And does manage to pop a Max Force mid-turn. His opponent may get a Winter Fury next turn as well, depending how deadly this attack goes. Battlecopter picks up Battlecopter. There's an infantry unit there. Medium tank does strike Burger tank down south. Winter Fury is available. Infantry, and mech. Does save 13,000 monies there. He does end his turn with 150,000, Olaf starts with 112, but make that 118 for 12, so they're still pretty even, though Max does have a bit of funds here. Olaf still has his 2 turn to utilize. Medium tank, infantry. Does sack the anti-air there. Nice thing about attacking this turn is he won't give his opponent any power charge. Though he does have to fight against +10/+10. Battlecopter, anti-air, tank. Does pick off a good number of units up north. Olaf still has, well, effectively 5 tanks. 2 of them are 8 health, but that's healthy enough. Plus, the city's in front line to get them repaired on up. Got medium tank, infantry. So got 2 medium tanks by Olaf. Max's medium tank is slightly wounded, but does get parked on top of a city. Tank, infantry. Another medium tank, recon, infantry. So Olaf started to pump out medium tanks. Max only has 1 medium tank to work with. And also what appears to be, what, 2 battlecopters at the moment? Looks like it. Olaf only has 1 at the moment. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Ripmas, talking about Christmas special? Oh, I did cast, what's it called? Couple Years 1 on Christmas. So I'm not sure what you're referring to. Does get some good hits there. Tank hits tank. Anti-air battlecopter and commits double base skip. Only has 400 funds remaining. We could see a full max blast here. We will see a full max blast. If this infantry unit can spot that medium tank there, there's medium tank in the first strike. Though it is on top of the city, he should have enough firepower from max blast to overcome it. Battlecopter hits battlecopter, tank hits battlecopter. Triple recon really wants to reconnoiter the area. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Battlecopter does strike battlecopter there. Though, the medium tank could have been struck there as well, but probably going to knock the battlecopter first, though it's going to be shot down by the anti-air. Medium tank heading over to the west. Blue has a good amount of forces down south, that's for sure. Feels like Olaf's in a pretty good position right now with his heavier assets. Though, right now when it comes to unit count, Max has 31 units versus 23, which is quite significant. 133 versus 128, though he is once again keeping a decent amount of monies in the bank. Goes for another set of 3 recons, so he's gone for 6 recons the past 2 turns. That's interesting. Winter Fury has been summoned. Probably went for recons because of the winter. No units do get picked off over here. Medium tank does strike the regular tank. Medium tank is in range of medium tank. Battlecopter does strike the medium tank there, softening up for the medium tank. Regular tank hits medium tank. Regular tank hits medium tank. Does not finish off the medium tank, even though it's been hit not once, not twice, not thrice, but twice. I think that's how you say that word. Battlecopter, tank, tank, tank. Put some rounds into the anti-air there. Takes out the 4 health battlecopter. Resupplies that battlecopter a little bit by the free black boat. Max's black boat definitely takes a bit of beating. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and recon. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, infantry. It's got some of these outlying units there. Recon, infantry, infantry, and battlecopter. Recon's presumably forward, medium tank rotating around at 6 health. Max is pretty close to another max blast. I think he would spam me out because his opponent had a Winter Fury somewhat close by, but he did go for a good number of recons, that's for sure. He has 6 still alive at the moment. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, and anti-air. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry, infantry. Olaf has a pretty good advantage on the field at the moment. And once again, both players just backing on off. Max is very far away from his power, let alone his superpower. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Olaf is right now at 22,000 income versus 20,000 income and trying to go for 2 more properties. Battlecopter, infantry, recon, and anti-air. Does pick off some outlying units there, interrupts the capture, interrupts that capture as well. Does pop a max force at near the end of the turn, honestly. Let's see how well it goes. Medium tank just pushed forward. Regular tank hits a recon, regular tank hits infantry. Battlecopter hits tank. Regular tank hits tank. Oh, it's not stalling at the moment. Battlecopter, infantry, and mech. And blizzard's available, but nowhere near close for Winter Fury. Blizzard. I had to take a double take because, like, I was looking at the chat window and all of a sudden it's like, Blizzard. Good number of battlecopters up north. Infantry gets taken out. He's trying to slow down Max's advance with the snow, which is somewhat effective. It's not like Eagle with battlecopters, but the battlecopters here are effectively snared. In turn with 190, Max has started from 158, but added his day-to-day, so he's effectively 180 versus 190. He's only slightly behind at the moment. Recon does spot the artillery or anti-air, knocking it out. And he has a healthy number of infantry units over here to capture up all these properties. Though he's getting pressured quite a bit over here. Battlecopter, infantry, mech, and anti-air. Anti-air, tank. Strike into this tree. And Olaf is starting to try to front shift over here. That flank is a little bit exposed, but nothing too significant actually, since this is a reinforcement path right there. It's infantry unit. Tank hits tank. A recon gets struck twice. Olaf's taking a bit of a beating there. It's probably a good turn to pop max force. Capture some properties. Gets much power charge before popping max force is always a good idea. Does hit the battlecopter there. Another blizzard's available. Does pop the max force. Does take out the anti-air. Tank hits tank. Tank hits the anti-air. Recon hits infantry in there. Battlecopter hits the tank. Battlecopter hits the medium tank, knocking it out. That's what the other medium tank there. Battlecopter will be striking another battlecopter rather than medium tank. Infantry, ready for the Winter Fury. Sort of. You're not really fully ready. Right now he ended with 173 versus 129, but he gets knocked down to 135. Takes out that tank there. Battlecopters get struck. Tank gets struck. Recon, tank, battlecopter, infantry. Interrupts the capture there. Both players at 21,000. This 2 infantry unit might be able to interrupt that capture, but it's probably 50-50 chance. Does the medium take there for battlecopter. And it looks like Max starting to fall back. Goes for a Mega Tank. I don't think Mega Tanks really needed. He can go for Neo Tanks. Mega Tanks are very far, take a very long time to get to the front line, and or beyond overkill at this point. I think Neo Tanks would be perfectly adequate for him. Great number of kills over here. Battlecopter, infantry, and recon. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Yeah, I think so. Far too slow to get the front line. Oh, he does have a lot of movement boosting power and superpower. It's just beyond overkill. He's fighting against mostly tanks, and even against a number of medium tanks is a little bit situational, honestly. And Olaf goes for a full bomber. In fact, if Max wanted something strong like that, he could have gone for a bomber. Stealth would have been perfectly fine as well. Stealths are far more agile than mega tanks. It will take a bit of time for Wood Fury to come back. It's up to 100, it needs another 80,000 funds. And scaling points getting a bit expensive. But you will need a rig or APC on the front line for it. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and recon. Does spot the mech there with the recon. It's the mech there. Max does see the bomber, takes out Battlecopter. He actually moved the Mega Tank and ranged that tank, so that tank had... No, that's a forest there. It's the Mega Tank fully obscures the forest there. So there's a Mega Tank lurking in the woods. And it's turned 144,000 for some 65. Medium Tank gets a strike there. The Medium Tank maybe... Okay, well, the Medium Tank is definitely in range of the Mega Tank with superpower. Maybe for regular power. Pops a full max blast. Takes out that tank down there. Battlecopter hits tank. Infantry hits the mech. Let's say anti-gear into recon one-shots it. Battlecopter hits a medium tank. Battlecopter hits a medium tank. Mega tank completely nukes that medium tank. I wonder how much damage. I'm guessing 150%. 157. Yeah. Not cooked, but well done. Overdone. Not even well done. And Olaf likes his underdone. Nice and cold. Infantry, and recon. And surf 127 versus 117, but here comes Winter Fury. Would have down to 99. Oh, resupplies the bomber at the black boat. It does. It still needs to kill off another medium tank before it becomes worth it. And there's also a bomber for Max to contest with. But it's down to 69,000 versus 136. Not to mention slow go in the snow. Yeah, 2 tiles. Does get trapped there. Goes for submarine, mech, and resigns. Yeah, the Mega Tank was definitely a bad call. This Angerade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started next replay, I do need his restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Yeah, he didn't have the game. Oh, this next one's actually I'm sort of eager to cast. It's been a while since the last cast Storm. Got a drink next to me, opened up, and ready to go. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on top right side as a purple lightning hawk, we got Laska Lunar. Spawn bottom left side as the orange star. Stir, we got Hudge. He forgot to paint his vehicles into the black hole color. After all, that's what the black hole versions was in the first Advanced Wars. They were actually the orange star variant with just a black coat of paint. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. I probably should mention what Sturm is, since he's different from the campaign counterparts. All terrain is perfect, except he moves normally in snow. And he is the opposite of Grim. Loses 20% firepower and gains plus 20% defense. So he's inherently a little bit defensive. Well, Hawk in comparison just gets plus 10% attack, so help him overcome defense. But of course, he's just Sturm just have to lose 20% firepower against him. This map does have two comp towers, so Sturm will have effectively neutral damage in the end. Creative openers, let's see. He has gone for tank. That seems pretty standard to me. Though I don't really pay attention much to the infantry movement. Oh, we got a mech. We got oh yeah! Sturms, the recons are great. Perfect movement. Now these are recons ready to reconnoiter the area. And Sturm's gone for quadruple recons. You said Hawk had interesting openers? No, Sturm is. Sturm's probably the best recon rusher. Tank, infantry. Didn't lose a recon there. The defense did hold out. And 1 health recons can still be garrison the forest in order to spot. You also have a mech here, tank. So right now 3 tanks versus just 1 so far. Recons fall back. They are 8 tile movement range with perfect movement. This is basically Lash's power every turn. And that costs 4 stars and not really worth it unless for recons. Trying to flip that property there. I suppose also his infantry just sprints across the mountains, don't they? So suppose Storm does have good alpine troops. Does get some damage up there. Recons everywhere. Storm has very good vision right now. Gets the mech there. Sort of lost that fight, but does soften it up with the recon there. Puts up 1 health recon left forest. Recon's still alive. Recon's no longer alive. Tank infantry. Some units up here. Takes out the infantry unit as well. We now have a rocket. And has perfect movement, so it actually can go through forest reasonably well. We got the rockets. Tank gets double tapped there. Hawk right now does have 17 to deal versus Sturm's just 3. The rocket, as mobile as it is, which makes it still has reduced firepower, which is a bit of a problem with indirects. And still takes time to set on up, so I don't know if the rocket's great. But look at that rocket, able just to floor it. Tank anti-air infantry. now have a T-copter. Infantry. Does it infantry unit twice? Rocket now advance to the forest. Does hit the infantry unit there. Artillery just out of range of everything. T-copter heading up north. Thought there would have been a mech there. Does finish off that one health infantry unit there. Did lose one health infantry unit to it though. Battlecopter triple infantry. Fox close to his power. Remember as well, Storm on Advanced Force Web has a 3 health damage meteor. I think that should be renamed. Meteor Striker should retain the Meteor Strike, but the first one should be Meteorite Strike. Does get some hits there. Tank, and artillery. Hits the infantry unit up north. Hawks pulling back this flank out of range of the rocket artillery. Hits that infantry unit twice and thrice. Hits that infantry unit twice. That one. Rocket advance way forward, providing coverage in this region. Both players have their power available. Hawk has a number of wounded units there, so the health recovery from power or superpower would be nice. A couple more artillery and infantry unit there, and a T-copter. Battlecopter. Hits that infantry unit twice. Infantry. At 70,000 versus 21,000. Still got a good number of neutral properties. They're despicably neutral. Does hit that tank. Hits that tank as well. Infantry, tank, and a second rocket. So we got 2 rockets in the field. That's interesting. Tank is in range of the artillery now. It says tank twice. Infantry, anti-air infantry, and battlecopter. Both players are very close to superpower. It's really hard to tell where Storm's meteor will strike. I think it will strike here. Though the black boat could draw a bit of damage there. It's actually... probably would strike over here. We do now have a black storm available. Battlecopter recon, and infantry. Good. There's a good chance for a meteor strike here relatively soon. We do have a black storm available. Probably should pop it immediately. Goes from 105,000, 155 to capture. Get some damage on his own units first a little bit. Goes up 105 to 112, down to 120,000 exactly. Somehow. Does get some damage going. Medium tank. Infantry. Now, where was Sturm's meteor strike? If I remember correctly, it has to strike a unit directly. Black boat is over here. I'm guessing it'll strike right here. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Capture. Oh, strikes the medium tank at the back. The T-copter and infantry. Oh, wait. No, that was Meteor Strike 1. Interesting. Honestly, it's a good thing he did pop it. That would not have been great. Knocking out one medium tank is not great. Taking out infantry and T-copter, who cares? T-copters can be at 1 health or 2 health. Doesn't really matter. And a destroyed infantry unit is not important, so... Meteor Strike 1's probably the better choice. Anti-air, infantry, and artillery. And 122,000. Storm starts for 102. Does it do... They're at 8 health, so maybe it does 4 damage, not 3 damage. Maybe I was... Yeah, the T-copter's at 4 health, so I'm mistaken about that. I thought it was 3 damage. Oh well. Tank, mech, and infantry. And Sturm 112 versus 122, so Sturm is ahead. I mentioned it's ahead in power charge. Push forward for good number of artillery here. Artillery in the auxiliary. Our battlecopter, artillery, infantry, and recon. Quite a good number of artillery, that's for sure. Almost grit levels, honestly. Does take a good number of hits here. He does have vision of the rocket. This rocket is out of range of the infantry unit there. No Indian down south to stop that. In terms of 21,000, comes to 19,000. There should still... Yep, we got 2 cities here that's still despicably neutral. Another meteor strike, another level 1 meteor strike. And that one was actually very good. Looks like it struck the battlecopter directly. He saw this big blob and popped it. That's a really good one. Yeah, that was a good strike there. Hawks down to 104,000 on the field. The Storm's flank over here is large, disintegrated. It's starting to stabilize a little bit there. Interrupts a capture these 2 properties there. This one is at 4 capture marks remaining. Of course, you don't see it because based on how I have the game source set up. Does take some good damage there. Tank, anti-air, infantry. Interrupts those captures, though this one will be captured next turn. Hawk has now a power available. Instead of 99,000, Storm starts at 116. I don't know. He has been like his artilleries. I mean, he may be trying to use them for perfect movement, but my choice in firepower does hurt on those things. He does have a decent number of meat shields in front of him in the form of battlecopters. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. He is very aggressive artillery, to say the least. I think he's pulling out more artilleries this game than tanks, so you may need to check that out if possible. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Hawks very close to a black storm. Yep, he only has 6 infantry units there on the field. Artillery are cheap, so it's easy to spam, but of course more artillery you spam means less infantry you get. Tank, tank, tank. Speaking about lack of infantry. Right now, he probably could send a T-copter to help push infantry units forward and save from the upcoming Black Storm. Infantry, tank, and recon. Rocket's low on ammo, so it's definitely got some good work done. Rocket and recon infantry. This Storm just loves his indirects. Battlecopter, recon, infantry, and infantry. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Got quite a bit of artillery wall, though. The last property right here that is still despicably neutral. Recon does an imp 1 health infantry unit there. It's the infantry unit. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, and recon. Good number of hits down south. Black Storm is available. May pop at the end of the turn. Do it after he gets everything healed on up or damaged. Now he's at 143,000 on the field. 164. And pops it to get up to 175. One Black Storm. Well, it's right there. Of course, out of range. There's actually not much to exploit all this. There's not a lot of hope. He is really vulnerable to battlecopters right now. Sir, Hawk needs to get some battlecopters on the left flank. That recon just got shelled 3 times. Does get trapped there, does spot the medium tank. Oh, pops another meteor 1, which may have struck some of these units here. I don't know how much health the battlecopter has, but these guys are both at 1% health. Rocket does get a good shot there. Tank, tank, infantry. So I'm gonna pull back a little bit there. Battlecopter. Tank, infantry, infantry. And it's a turn of 136 versus 142. Does show that anti-air twice. And make that thrice. Tank, tank, and anti-air. Recon does get a good strike there on the artillery. Battlecopter does a good strike down that tank. Does not take out the medium tank just yet. The reduced firepower is really hurting Storm right there. Interrupts the capture. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Something exploded up here? Oh, it has one fuel. It bugged out. Look, right now it has one fuel. It bugged out and got repaired at the same time. So exploded but didn't. Oh, and Hawk resigned there. Either way, I'm curious about that. How many value? I don't see the artillery kills. Oh, no, those kills. Let's see, he has killed 7 artillery versus 10 tanks. I suppose he killed a... Actually, wait. He only killed 10 tanks, 7 artillery. He has a good number of tanks in the field. Either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now. Give me a moment to adjust the video. And that should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn top right side as the Blue Moon Max. We've got Ribe Maw, I think. Spawn bottom left side as the Jade Sun Eagle. We've got Gray Fox with only one E. So let's go ahead and get started. This map appears to be a 2-base map, 1 airport, so there should be a good number of airports. There's also 29 properties for the capture limit. So there is a decent amount of money in the field as well. Only pair of comm towers. Recon pulled up on max. Let's see if there's 20. Let's see, if 29 properties of capture limit. How many properties is that? I can't remember exactly, but both players should at least 20,000, right? Income. 1, 2, 3. I can't. I'm not going to count that. We're going to have to wait and see. But that seems a little bit high income for 2-base maps, so there should be some good assets being pulled in the field. And back's gone from battlecopter into tank. You got a recon double tank here. So very early battlecopter. Eagle does go for artillery and recon this turn, so this battlecopter will have free reign. And Max goes for the second battlecopter before turn 8. Eagle's probably going to go for anti-air this turn. Usually you want to get an anti-air out by no later than turn 10. Battlecopter double infantry. Battlecopter engage battlecopter. His course has plus 15% firepower versus plus 20, but plus 10% defense. And Max gets our third battlecopter, so we got full battlecopter deployment, a full sortie of them. Tank infantry, definitely the wrong choice. I think these battlecopters are going to be particularly effective this game. Battlecopter recon infantry. Anti-air infantry. Let's get some good damage on these units. This battlecopter looks like in range to this battlecopter, but we've got battlecopter to cover its wingman. Battlecopter infantry and anti-air. That makes 5 battlecopters by turn 11. We have an anti-air and battlecopter last turn, so he has a good amount of anti-air now on the field. And actually probably needs a little bit more. He's about to lose one of his battlecopters. Right now he has 2 battlecopters, 1 anti-air to do 5 battlecopters. Battlecopter tank infantry. It would be safe enough for the battlecopter to hit the bed. Would not be safe enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he gets the battlecopter with his battlecopter. He will lose the battlecopter. Battlecopter is tank. Tank hits recon, but this tank's in range of the artillery. Battlecopter gets a strike there. Very nice, but it's in range of the anti-air. Hawk has a power available, as well as a max force in return. Tank gets shelled by the artillery. Battlecopter does go down. Max is almost available, has his superpower available. Pops his power. Recon hits the infantry unit there. Does hit the infantry unit as well. Battlecopter hits the tank. Use the infantry unit to gun it down a little bit. And another one there. Tank, recon, and battlecopter. Hits units down south. They go for another tank and anti-air. We've got tank and recon and battlecopter last turn by Max. Max pushed forward these battlecopters. There's been just so many of them. Eagle's just having trouble following them. Eagle now has a superpower available, which could be very deadly. The front lines collapse on each other. Battlecopter, recon, tank. This is probably a good turn for a line strike. He's actually 64,000 versus 95, so he's pretty far behind. I have a feeling as well. Pushing forward. Nothing too crazy this turn. Doesn't have actually too many asses left in the field, but is able to strike a good amount of units. Battlecopter streams on 4. Does find the 1 health infantry unit there as a consolation prize. Battlecopter recon infantry. 1 health tank takes on 1 health infantry. Wins. Tank hits recon. Hits the infantry unit there. The HQ capture gets stopped. Tank hits tank. Or tank hits anti-air. Anti-air takes a battlecopter. And does manage to call Max's force down to 57,000 from 90 something. Quite a bit of loss there. Of course, it's outstated days, so they're still pretty even. Of course, Max has his power and superpower available. Tank, recon, and battlecopter. Does strike the infantry unit twice. Gnome, the outlying force going on down, did risk going through the forest there, but was successful enough. I suppose he had a tank on top of that forest at the beginning of the turn with, so he knew it was unoccupied. Does go for power here from Max. Battlecopter. Battlecopter does not go down. It's probably close to 1% health though. Loss of Eagle's force are actually pretty wounded right now. Ends for 82,000. Eagle starts turn 57. Eagles and Max units are being oh so stubborn. They don't really want to die all too much. Recon and medium tank by Max. Not Max, Eagle. It's the recon there. Battlecopter pops another power with a 1-2 punch of his power charge. Recon, tank, and battlecopter. Leaving himself with 81,000 for 62,000, so Eagle's about a full turn behind. Does catch a property there. He's at 21,000 income versus 19. Battlecopter, anti-air, and recon. It's the battlecopters there on maxes. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Battlecopter gets sacked, battlecopter does go down. Battlecopter tank infantry. Eagle's pretty close to a superpower. Probably can pull out one next turn, especially if he loses battlecopters like that. Does get trapped there. Tank or recon battlecopter. Does get some good damage there. Anti-air. Medium tank takes out the anti-air. Here comes a lightning strike. Infantry, battlecopter, tank. He's at right now 75,000, but hard to say. It feels like he has no presence left on the map. Some outlying infantry units there. Takes out the recons as well. Starts turn for 59,000. Eagle ends turn for 84. And pops his own power there. Anti-air takes the anti-air. Battlecopter hits the tank. And we got Neo-Tank infantry. Neo-Tank help him stabilize the game, though he will need some anti-airs help protected. He did end his turn for 80,000 as opposed to Eagle's 70,000. So Max is slightly ahead in value-wise. Eagle doesn't really have a proper counter of those battlecopters, so he does have 2 battlecopters in region. Battlecopter, infantry, and anti-air. And we got Neo-Tank by Eagle, but does commit base skip. Battlecopter, tank, and anti-air. Anti-air and tank. Recon does get advanced to the force. Recon stops the anti-air and then gets nuked by the Neo-Tank. Property over here looks like will be captured. And right now, Max and Eagle have the same income. Does get trapped there. Anti-air does take a battlecopter. Battlecopter strikes a Neo-Tank. Medium tank strikes regular anti-air. Battlecopter strikes a battlecopter. Max losing quite a bit up here north. He does have a good number of units over here, which can get the +1 movement range. It probably comes down to how well he plays next turn, because Olaf or Max is pretty far behind. 139,000 versus 100,000, though he still has day-to-day income, so it's only about a half a turn behind, a little bit more than half a turn behind in value. Pops Max Force. Anti-air would strike the battlecopter. Tank will strike anti-air, knocking it out as well. Just leaving this anti-air very far behind, so these battlecopters are going to have free reign. There also captures out in the south as well. New tank should strike the medium tank and knocks it down to 1 health. That 1 health battlecopter does not finish off the 1 health medium tank. Got a bomber and double infantry. Neo-Tank does strike Neo-Tank. Max definitely does need that bomb on the front line. Though he can double tap that Neo-Tank of 2 battlecopters. Actually, he could double tap it or triple tap of 3 battlecopters. So this Neo-Tank could get hit pretty hard there. Neo-Tank can finish off the 1 health medium tank. Does finish some outlying units there. Very nice. Neo-Tank gets struck once. I would disagree with that. Does take out the tank there. I'd probably use that battlecopter again. Battlecopter, tank, and recon. Neo tank down 3 health. Could have been fully knocked out. Anti-air, finish off the medium tank. Infantry and Neo tank start to fall back. Max has pulled pretty far ahead, though Eagle does have his lightning strike available, just needs a good target in front of him. The Neo tank is on top of the city, so it could be a 5 health Neo tank. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Max force activated once again. Let's take out the battlecopter there. Hits the infantry. There are a good number of infantry going down. Bomber takes out a regular tank there. 8 years in range of the bomber. And that Neo tank's at 7 health. This lightning strike could be devastating. He is pretty far behind. 140 versus 86. This is probably the turn for a lightning strike, that's for sure. Battlecopter does strike battlecopter. Neo tank takes out, does not take out the anti-air. Artillery advance way forward, does take out the anti-air there. Anti-air does strike the bomber. And since Max does have a power activating, he's not getting power charge from this. Here comes a lightning strike. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Battlecopter hits tank. Neo tank finish off Neo tank. Artillery strikes anti-air. Tank hits tank. Anti-air hits finish off battlecopter. Anti-air goes down. And surf of 98,000 versus max is 70-something thousand. After day-to-day funds, they're actually still pretty even. Max in search of 94,000. Eagle starts a turn of 94,000, so they're pretty even, barring day-to-day fundings, repairs, and all that sort. Neo tank still free reign, but that one could be struck 3 times. Like I said before, and that Neo tank should have went down earlier, and that Neo tank still lurking around, causing so many issues for Max now, since he didn't want to finish off. Artillery, infantry, battlecopter, and Max does resign. This is Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Let's see now. We want to adjust the window. And there we go. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn top right side as the Gray Sky Drake. We got X Old Man. Great. The English guy who summons stormy weather and miserable English weather is playing Gray Sky. How fitting. Spawn bottom left side as the Blue Moon Kindle. We got Rebe Mall. Probably butchered that name well enough. Yeah, Gray Sky should be released to fire red skins and make it Big Ben. It would be much more fitting there. Either way, let's get started. Both players do start off with 1 health missile for reconnoitering the area. Both players do start off with 8 year next to your opponent's comm tower. There are 2 comm towers per person. 3 base, 1 airport. Airport's over here. You also got a pipe seam interrupting some movement. That could be cleaned on out. If not, you're going to add a little extra turn. 1 force and 1 left tile. So clear out the pipe seam is a good idea if you want to go more northwards. We do have an early mech by Drake here. Really wants to clear out that comm tower. No mech down south. Some players use mech, some players use artillery. And does catch up the airport here. And looks like I got the triple infantry. Does hit that infantry unit there. Another double infantry tank. I think that was a couple recons I missed. Yeah, a little exhausted. Today was a long day. Terminating a bunch of Ethernet cables with onto keystones. Infantry, and tank. So my hands are cut up and covered in fiberglass, so a little bit on fire. My hands as well. Recon does strike the infantry unit there. Recon strikes that infantry unit there. Takes boost strike, so we'll get some decent damage there. You now have a mech here to clear down the southern comm tower. I think as well, if she pops Urban Blight when the AT is on top of the comm tower, it will get blighted. Just gotta be careful about that. Gonna capture the central comm tower. This recon needs to fall back. Missile here. If I remember correctly, a missile needs to be at least, what, 7 health in order to one-shot battlecopters? Even then, if it doesn't, it will basically knock out battlecopters, putting them down to 1 health. Got a tank, and infantry. Good amount of captured properties there. Kindles up to 17 properties. Artillery gets loaded up in there. Mech in the mountain. Mech takes a shot against their AT there, and actually force out another mech based on its positioning. Does spot the battlecopter, and the AT wins the fight. While his finally is now withdrawn from the comm tower, but was far more successful. Only took 2 points of damage while losing 10 points of health in total. Mech finished off the AT here. Urban Blight's now available. Oh, does pop the Urban Blight, which will interrupt 2 captures. Or 3 captures, even stop the central comm tower, so they both have 1 comm tower, just different sets. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Tank infantry. The lander squad can boost for that tank next turn. Does get some damage there. Tank, recon, battlecopter, and infantry. Drake's battlecopter, of course, has 20% less firepower, or 30% less firepower. Even with 2 comm towers, be at 10%, minus 10%, which is in the realm of okay, but Drake battlecopters is simply not great. And generally should be avoided. It's 3 base maps, so you should be able to get a good number of ground units. Does the recon twice. Battlecopter, infantry, and has finally captured the comm tower on the bottom left. This comm tower will be captured up this turn as well. Tank does hit tank. Both those tanks now in range artillery. If one tank's in range artillery, might as well send the second one into range artillery. Not like it's going to make too big of a difference. So we do have a battlecopter nearby. So Kindle should have a pretty good turn this turn. Artillery gets a great strike there. Tank finish off that tank there. Battlecruiser hits the tank, and tank hits tank. Good amount of hits there. We do now have a full Typhoon available. Drake's missiles up to 3 health. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Landers off the seaport. It has 23 fuel remains, so it's not going to last very long in order to get before it runs out of low on fuel. Good damage there. A bit of a clean sweep in the center. Units are fall back onto the various properties, get repaired on up. She's spending armor leg next turn. Recon, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. So capture those cities down there. Triple capture. And Kendall's actually pretty close to high society. She does have, I think, 25 properties at the moment. Yep. So you should get plus 75% firepower percentage global for high society, which is very nice. Pops Urban Blight there, interrupt a good number of captures, buying her some time for some of the properties are trying to be flipped. Drake also has a Neo Tank here, but does avoid the Urban Blight. Tank infantry. Does lose a good number of tanks there. Looks like Drake's taking another good engagement in the center. Missiles at 5 health, which is start putting some damage onto battlecopters. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Does put some machine gun rounds onto that missile there. Battlecopter, artillery, tank, and infantry. Mac gets a good strike there on that tank. Neo tank hits the regular tank as well. Good number of battlecopters nearby. The Neo tank's not adjacent to an urbanized property, so can't take any bonus damage. Does get some good hits in center. Does not using the battlecopter to strike that Neo tank. Get some outlying unit there. Tank finish off the missile. Battlecopter does strike the Neo tank, granting her opponent a Typhoon. Tank, infantry, artillery, battlecopter, and stormy weather. Recon gets hit twice. ETR hits the battlecopter. High society is available, but doesn't look like Kindle has much left on some of the map to actually utilize high society. Drake has just a good number of units, so infantry and armor. Well, Kindle has a couple tanks and a battlecopter. Not looking good for Kindle, honestly. Pops Urban Blight and might as well. Does get some infantry units, hit a T-copter, hit an anti-air. Nothing too crazy, honestly. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Seven health Neo tank push way forward. Infantry, medium tank infantry. Does take out the anti-air there. Battlecopter does strike the Neo tank. Another Urban Blight popped immediately. Neo tank is not on urbanized property, so is not taking damage there. That recon did, however. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. And it's 107,000. Eagle or Drake has 110, so he has an ever so slight advantage. Good strikes on the battlecopters. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Battlecopter does strike the tank, and tank hits tank. Tank, recon, and battlecopter with another infantry in there. Landers on 23 fuel. Hits that infantry unit twice as the battlecopter. Tank hits, receive hit there from battlecopter. Artillery's in range of this tank now, as well as the anti-air, so that artillery's going to get some good work. Plus, it's on top of urbanized property, so it will probably one-shot either of those units. We have a tsunami available. Yeah, that artillery will definitely get a large firepower bonuses. 113 on top of the infantry. Yep, it one-shot the tank there. Takes out the anti-air one-shot as well. Does put some rounds that recon. Battlecopter hits the infantry in there. Tank hits tank. Neo tank lurk in the woods. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, and tank. A resupply on the right side. Infantry, and recon. And another battlecopter. Eagle or Drake right now has 2 battlecopters in the field. Mech does a good strike there. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Does take out the mech. Tank, infantry, anti-air. We see another tsunami next turn. Does pop the Urban Blight, which hits itself back at home, of course. That looks about it. The good number of property units are next to urbanized property receive bonus damage. But not if that will happen is another matter. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Toss the tsunami there. Could have took out that infantry unit there and that recon move second. Good amount of hits there. Loses a artillery tank. There's another artillery. Let it down. Put it down to 1% health. Recon, tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Oh, loses the black boat there. Kindle starts at 113 with day-to-day income. She's about a turn behind at the moment. Battlecopter does get a boost strike on that tank there. Battlecopter hits a tank. Battlecopter hits a medium tank. If she's able to squeeze out another Urban Blight, it will greatly hit that Neo tank, but I don't think she's going to be able to. Infantry, recon, and battlecopter. Does send some good hits there. Battlecopter hits the battlecopter. Tank, and anti-air. Medium tank does go down. This tank goes down. Recon will finish off that infantry unit there. A large number of Drake's infantry units are going down. Right now, Kindle's at 21 military units versus 31, so significant number behind in numbers, as well as in value. Ernblad Helper interrupts some of the captures. Takes out a good number of battlecopters, lose a bit more damage there. Anti-air infantry. Yeah, she has no infantry over here. It's a couple infantry's way over here. The problem is just simply unit count for her. Plus, she's pretty far behind in value. About a full turn behind. That's a bit of a problem. Not to mention she has not been able to deal with this Neo tank. Gets a nice booted strike there. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Loses a good number of battlecopters there. Landers on 26 fuel. And we almost got another tsunami available for Drake. Neo tank, infantry, and recon. And Kindle decides to go ahead and resign his grade, saying, "Thank you for watching, and on to the next replay." My apologies, everyone. I need to use the restroom again. Please give me a moment. And I probably have time for one last replay for tonight. Let's see. Did I do this one last week? Not funny check. Just did that matchup. Did this matchup. That's probably a pretty good game. We'll keep an eye on this one. I don't like Sasha games. I haven't done this map, or maybe I did. It's a lot of replays I need to figure out if I actually did or didn't. I need to take time to actually schedule all of them. Yeah, let's just go to this one here. So, let's see now. Just the map. And yep, that should be good to go. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Small on bottom right side is Blue Moon Eagle, we got F Tiger. Small on top left side is the Purple Lightning Olaf, we got Low, Elo, Nobody. Let's go ahead and get started. This map is a 3 base map, 1 airport. Money's a little bit sparse this map overall, I believe. Usually 25 capture limit, it seems you probably can't play out as many assets as you would like. Got our recon up here. And recon down south. If I remember correctly, both players will have trouble getting to around 20,000 income at most, probably. Which means there's probably going to be an awful lot of Neo tanks this game. Another recon by Eagle. This recon does advance way forward, does get inside the forest there. Infantry unit there could push forward, spot it, and the recon could strike it, but that'll be a minor consolation prize. Does get trapped there. Tank, infantry, infantry. Does strike the pipe seam there. Do have a tank push up north. Recon does strike the recon. Oh yeah, I forgot the fact that there's shores there, so easily flanked around. And he flanked around even further, so it is surrounded, at least from this side. So the Steel Recon will need to sprint down south, but he will be in range of this one. Could be lured into a trap. Tank is close enough to be lured into a trap. Does strike the side seam once again for 1 point of damage. It's a recon there, but now he does have this tank spotted. However, this tank is in range, but Olaf does not see that tank there, which means now he is going to be lured into a trap. So now this tank will get a first strike on this tank on 0 defense stars. Both players have their comm tower now. Tank up north, another tank up north. Black Cloud's already down to 17 fuel. Battlecopter push way forward. Yes, I do stream Computers 1 on Thursdays. Artillery, artillery, and infantry. Does get some damage across the line. This, yep, falls with the HQ. Can resupply there with a black boat. And of course, we just healed up to 7 health next turn. With a full health tank nearby, should be healthy enough to push forward. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Does have a tank up north. Tank, and infantry. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, and infantry. Olaf's going for a healthy number of battlecopters. Right now he is at 2. He goes at the 1. Does hit the recon up north, but this tank is nearby. And this 4-off tank could pitch a shot on in. The battlecopter is out of vision range though. Does get to spot the battlecopter there. Comm tower needs to be interrupted. Right now Olaf does have both comm towers captured, which is very handy. Tank does strike the tank. Infantry hits the infantry. It looks like this despicably neutral property will be captured. Battlecopter will hit the tank. Hits the infantry there. Battlecopter will take out the tank there, and the infantry up north does go down, or it does not. Battlecopter to strike the battlecopter. Very nice. And nothing stopped this battlecopter up north. Anti-air's way down south. Nothing to stop this battlecopter in this region as well. Anti-air is on the wrong side of the map. And at base. So this battlecopter will have free reign. So it looks like Olaf's in a pretty good position there. Pretty close to his superpower. Does move around there. Takes the infantry unit there. Going captures. Hits that infantry unit there. And does take out that wounded infantry unit there. Takes out that infantry unit as well. Winter Fury is now available. Battlecopter, infantry, and anti-air. Winter Fury has been summoned, calling Eagle's force down to 71,000. Finish off some of those wounded units. Takes on the capturing infantry. Olaf's maintaining both comm towers right now. Tank, infantry, and anti-air. Hits that unit there. Resupplies there. Black belt's down to 2 fuel, so it doesn't have too much farther. Eagle's black boat is down to 6 fuel. Some good damage over here. Eagle has access to his lightning strike. Anti-air artillery commits space skip. Takes the battlecopter. This is probably the turn for the lightning strike. Let's get a strike up there. Battlecopter will be in range of this battlecopter with the lightning strike. This 1 health battlecopter full could pull back and join the soon be wounded battlecopter there. Does get resupplied there. Resupplies again. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Olaf has the blizzard available now. And bit of a clean sweep north. He does capture this comm tower now. Tank hits the tank. Anti-air hits infantry there. But got another tank in range. Tank goes down. Eagle should be just fine here. The tank can take out the anti-air. Battlecopter can take out the tank. And then tank can hit the tank. Does pick off some of these outlying units there. Battlecopter is not taking points of damage. Puts rounds in the infantry unit there. And the anti-air. Tank, and infantry. Oh, there goes the black boat. The counterpart black boat has only 5 fuel remaining. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Put some rounds in this pipe seam. Tank, anti-air. Do now have a Winter Fury available. Does take out the tank up north. Recon straight forward. Tank hits the infantry. Tank hits the, battlecopter hits the tank there, and anti-air does get struck as well. Anti-air, battlecopter, infantry. Winter Fury now activated there, calling Eagle's force down to 68,000 from 66. Both players are pretty wounded at the moment and pretty low on value on the field. Getting some good strikes up north. Eagle does have 20,000 income for 16. So that infantry or anti-air there. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter hits tank. Tank, and infantry. Tank, infantry, and tank. Insert from 71,000 for 74,000. Tank comes up north, gets a good shot there, hits that infantry unit there. Battlecopter hits tank. Anti-air strikes infantry and tank. Finish off infantry unit there. Tank, and infantry. Recon does get trapped there. Hits this infantry unit. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Does hit some of those units now. Anti-air, infantry, and tank. Hits this unit there. Battlecopter hits the tank. Tank goes down, hits the infantry unit there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and recon. Black boat does explode or gets sunk into the bottom of the beach. Tank, infantry. Good damage over here. Does take out that tank there. Tank hits the tank. We may see the lightning strike activated this turn. Yep, we do. Recon, infantry, and anti-air. Battlecopter push right forward. Tank hits tank. And does hit the anti-air there. Infantry unit goes down. It's the anti-air. Eagle ends turn for 91,000 for 62. But we almost have another Winter Fury available. Anti-air tank. Good amount of damage on these various tanks. Winter Fury is available, but there's nothing much left on Olaf's side. Up to 95,000 versus 58. Gets called down to 73. Totally gets a good strike there. Right now it's 20,000 for 16,000 income. Quite a bit of a difference there. Because right now Olaf can afford 2 tanks and infantry, and that's about it. Eagle, of course, can pull out 3 tanks per turn if he saves a little bit money of one turn. Tank, infantry, and artillery. Does pull back from the center. Olaf's going to flip some properties back over to his side, which is very important. And start making a sweep, go after this column tower again. He does have some units to protect this southern column tower. You have artillery here as well. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and commit space skip. Tank, and infantry. Push the way forward. Tank, anti-air, infantry. Capture the column towers. Good chance he will capture it. Nope, this infantry can just simply get right there and interrupt it. And does interrupt there. Got lucky it didn't get trapped. Recon top the column tower, so it will not be captured up this turn, or start being captured. And it's quite a bit of a push here by Eagle. Olaf is very far away from even his power level and superpower. Does strike the artillery. He's now taking battlecopter over this flank. Tank, battlecopter, pair of infantry. Flipping a couple properties and they don't look like they will be interrupted. Tank should strike the tank. Tank hits the anti-air. Yep, I think overall Olaf is probably getting knocked on out. Capture a couple properties, including his one's comm towers. So this turn he has 2 comm towers, but probably only this turn. Does interrupt the HQ capture. Anti-air takes a battlecopter, no problem. Does get trapped on the artillery that's almost out of ammo. Does get some damage here. Now this infantry unit fully surrounds the HQ. And I don't think he'll be able to reach the HQ in time. Does get trapped, and what goes in his designs after that. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And that will be my last replay tonight, so everyone, thank you for watching, have a good